Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fantasy Football and welcome to my video and welcome to my beach. So yeah, I'm just at work creating some drinks and don't ask me about my jumper because that's the uniform here. But yeah, in today's video, I am going to be looking at my wildcard draft going into game week 31. Now, I already created a video looking at other options, but yeah, please go back and check my previous video as it covers a lot of stuff, looking at different drafts, looking at different players to pick from and strategies for the next few game weeks. Anyways guys, we've got to go back to the office. Subscribe if you're new and smash that like button as it helps my channel out a lot. So here we go. Okay, back in the studio. So here we go guys. The wildcard draft that I'm about to show you is what I'm thinking to do for game week 31. Now I am recording this before the Champions League game, so Porto versus Chelsea hasn't even started yet, and it's essential that we look at that game because a lot of us are trying to get Chelsea assets. So depending on what happens there, I might change this around. There's some games tomorrow as well, and of course we've got the press conference on Friday. So a lot of stuff to cover. A lot of things could happen that could change my team around. I will look at my captain options. I will look at my strategy and some of the players that I got my eye on. So here we go. As you can see, this is my current wildcard draft. Now, the only way for this to change, if we hear some injuries, if there are some issues that we find out in the press conference, then I will adapt and change things around. But this is what I'm settled with. I will be looking at different alternatives as well, so do not worry. But this is what I'm going to be looking at. I'm just going to be focused on the team that I have for the next few game weeks. As you can see, Leno, Shaw, Azpilicueta, Phillips, Jota, Gundogan, Salah, Son, Fernandes, Wood and Kane. And as you can see on the bench, I have got Foster, Iheanacho, Rudiger and Konsa. So this is my team setup so far. So yeah, this is my current setup. It all depends on the press conference and the game today. I could change a few things around, but I'm pretty settled with this. I will be looking at different players that I have in mind. So anyways, let's go and look at my wildcard strategy. So let's just do this. So we are at here. So game week 31, right? Some of the Champions League games has just finished, which is good. And I'm pretty set with game week 31. Now, obviously, we still need to wait before the deadline, you know, find out all of the press conference. There are a lot of games still left. And once that's over, then I will obviously confirm. But if there are any issues, I will be making those adjustments. So I do have a couple of players in mind to kind of help me out with that. So the idea with the wildcard is to have the chance to actually bank some transfers to help me out in this blank game week 33. It is important that I have 11 players, and with the team that I have, I will have 11 players, and I might have an extra player or so to actually help me out navigate through this blank. Then later on or around this area, we might get some news about some double game weeks. So if that's the case, then, you know, banking the transfer around game week 34, it's definitely going to help out to kind of bring those players in and be set for that new double game week. So that is the strategy with this wildcard, to be able to have a chance to bank these transfers. That is very important, and try to get a team that is good enough for that game week. Game week 31, my team doesn't look the best of the best. However, for the double game week 32 and blank game week 33 and game week 34, my team looks really good on paper. So moving on, as for my captain options, I have got Harry Kane and Mo Salah, two players that could do really well for us for the remaining parts of the season. And as you can see, I have created these bars just to show when I am considering captaining that player. Okay, now if you look at game week 31 for Tottenham, It's at home against Manchester United. And if you look at Salah, a really good fixture there against Aston Villa. So that's why I put the green bar on Mo Salah. That's because I'm thinking to captain him there. And in Game Week 32, I'm thinking to captain Harry Kane because he's got 2 fixtures. I can still captain Mo Salah against Leeds, but I want that extra chance to actually get another return. And then as you can see, in Game Week 33, Harry Kane blanks. But in Game Week 33 for Mo Salah, it's got a really good home fixture against Newcastle. So a fantastic captain option there. Then we move down to Game Week 34. You know, if I bench Kane in Game Week 33 and I don't remove him, home fixture against Sheffield United. And on the other side, Salah has an away fixture against Manchester United. So that is what I'm thinking with my captain options, to have 2 that I can like rotate with. And later on, I'll just decide on what I want to do, because most of the remaining fixtures for both of these players looks really, really good. But yeah, those were my captain options. So moving on to my player options, meaning players that I'm actually thinking to bring into my FPL team. Mason Mount is a player that I'm considering. So instead of Jota, I can bring in Mason Mount. He's around 7.1. And decent fixtures there. Crystal Palace away, Brighton at home, then West Ham away. He's a player that actually can get some big returns. But with this Champions League, I think he's going to play. And there could be some rotation there in the attacking positions for Chelsea. So I think I'm going to just wait and see what happens in the Champions League before I start thinking to bring in a attacking Chelsea asset. So as for Trent, I am considering him in my FPL team. However, he is around what, 7.2, 7.3. And I got Phillips right now. He's 4 million and he saves so much money. And it gives me that option to actually get Mo Salah and Jota and have a Liverpool defender that could keep a clean sheet against Aston Villa. I know that Liverpool is still conceding, but that money there and the possibilities, that there's a chance, right? But I am considering Trent because he is a player that can score, can assist, and you know, and bring in a big return. The fixtures there: Aston Villa at home, Leeds away, Newcastle at home. I mean, it looks really good. That's why a lot of FPL managers are trying to get at least 2 to 3 Liverpool players on their wildcard draft because of these fixtures. And I think they can do really well in the next few game weeks. And then we move on to Vardy. Away fixture against West Ham. Then 2 back-to-back really good fixtures there. West Brom at home, Crystal Palace at home. Now, Iheanacho is a very cheap player. I think it's around 5.8. And Vardy is 10 million and above. He's too expensive. I looked at, you know, having both of those players, but then I have to make some sacrifices. So that means I have to get rid of Mo Salah, which I'm thinking to captain him in most of these remaining game weeks. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I might do something a little bit different. Maybe I can downgrade Son to Lucas Moura. Maybe that might give the fund to actually get Jamie Vardy in. That might be a different shout. But anyways, I'm still considering him because I think that he can do really well in the next coming game weeks. So yeah, those were my strategies and those were the players that I'm thinking about. Now, let's just go through some of these players because there are a couple of differentials. And I know that this is some kind of template wildcard, but I do have 1 or 2 different players that not many managers will go for. Now, Leno is a good goalkeeper, 5 million, so he's actually quite cheap. And the fixtures for Arsenal, if you look at it, it's actually not too bad. Sheffield United away, Fulham at home. Everton at home is going to be a little bit tricky, but still a decent fixture to keep a clean sheet. Newcastle away and West Brom at home. These fixtures are really good for Arsenal to keep at least 1 or 2 clean sheets there. I got Foster to kind of help me out because he is a playing Southampton goalkeeper, which is good news there. Now, if you look at Shaw, Azpilicueta, I already spoke to you guys about these players. Phillips is just 4 million. That's why he's a fantastic option. Even though, like, if Liverpool can't keep a clean sheet, he's still good value. So that's why he's in the team. Now, with Gundogan or with Manchester City assets, to be honest with you guys, I have no idea who's going to start. So let's move on. I've got Gundogan there because he's a cheap player and he's a fantastic player. I bought him a long time ago and he bought me a lot of points. So I'm just going to keep him. I don't really need to like get rid. I can remove him and try and get in Mason Mount if I wanted to, or Neto. I can do that. But if he starts, then he has a high chance to actually return. The only player that I'm actually quite afraid of is Kevin De Bruyne, but we will see what happens. Son and Kane. Now I can bench Son there and play one of these players on my bench. Last time out that Tottenham played Manchester United, Tottenham beat them and they scored a lot of points. Next up is Fernandes. He's a player that I don't want to get rid unless he's injured. He's a player that if he returns, then you will lose a lot of ranks if you don't own him. So that is the problem. So it's basically a shield to block that from happening. Chris Wood is my differential. Not many managers are looking at Chris Wood, and I can understand why. But for me, Chris Wood, 6.2. Now later on, if we find out Aston Villa or Everton or whatever has a double game week, then I can start thinking to remove Chris Wood and bring like Watkins or Calvert-Lewin into my team. But he's been doing really well. As you can see, 3 goals in the last 3 games. Okay, let's just say 5 games. Actually, he didn't play. He only played 17 minutes there. In the 4 games, let's just say 3 goals and 1 assist. He's on penalties, and the fixture at home looks really, really good against Newcastle. And then I still have a decent cover there in that blank game week 33. And on the bench, I've got Iheanacho. I can play him. I can bench Son if I wanted to. I've got Rudiger here that I'm going to show you guys why I bought him in, and Konsa. So that is the team setup. Okay, really happy. I'm going with Salah as the captain. So the wildcard is not just for Game Week 31. It's for Game Week 32, 33, 34, and so on. And with this setup, I'll be able to bank the transfers and kind of like adjust to situations along the way. Now, as you can see in Game Week 32, I actually have a really, really good team setup. I've got the 2 Manchester United players against Burnley. I've got 2 Spurs players because they got double. I can go and get Cody if I wanted to. I got a couple of the Liverpool players there. Chelsea assets against Brighton. And I got a decent cover. And I got Iheanacho against West Brom. So that looks really good. And that gives me the chance to actually bank the transfer. And that's very helpful and useful for the blank game week 33. Where I might make some moves that is going to make my team even stronger for this game week. So I can look to bring in Jamie Vardy if I wanted to against Crystal Palace. I can bring in Watkins against West Brom and so on. There is a lot of good options here that I can start thinking to bring in. But around this area, we might get some announcements for more double game weeks and blanks. And with these 2 free transfers, I'll be adjusting to those announcements. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Whew. I hope that you guys enjoy this. I will be creating another video, or I might be creating a deadline stream, but we will see. I think I have covered a lot of things here. This is what I'm thinking to do. There is the Champions League game, so Porto versus Chelsea, that I'm going to be watching. Manchester United and Arsenal play on Thursday, so I'm going to be looking at that as well, just in case. We've got the press conference on Friday. There is a lot of information that we're still waiting. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this. I hope that this video has helped you. Do what you need to do for your team. I'm going with Chris Wood. I'm going with 1 or 2 differentials because I just want to do it. Do what's best for your team, guys. For me, this is what I'm going to be doing. I could even captain Chris Wood if I wanted to. So anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. Subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.